So we'll chant Om 3 times, followed by the invocation shlokas. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Hello everyone, good morning, welcome back. We are covering chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita, so where we are actually studying on about the Jnana and Vijnana Yoga. So it is essential knowledge is being taught, knowing which we understand the nature of God. And it is going to be taught with such examples and such in such a manner that if we put a little bit of effort, it is as good as we get the wisdom itself. Okay, so there is Jnana and Vijnana. So Bhagavan, once he made this promise that he is going to teach this Jnana Vijnana Yoga to Arjuna, he said that anyone in this world can learn. However, anyone who has interest in this kind of a thing are very few, and even after we have interest, very few among those people who have interest, very few of them are going to get it, are able to make it, simply because we are pulled by a lot of other things in this world. Okay? So then he started describing that he has two types of Prakriti. Prakriti meaning nature or essence. Okay. One is he called as Apara Prakriti and other is Para Prakriti. So anything that is seen in this world, everything that is seen in this world is Apara, or lower form of him. It is still him. Okay. And when he said that everything that is seen is me, and why is that he's saying that everything that you see is me, but it is lower? Is simple reason. The reason is that anything that is seen in this world is inert. everything that is seen in this world is subject to change. Because it is subject to change and it is inert, it is also nature of sorrow and it is impure, and it is in the control of Lord. So that means that you are kind of like a slave, right? You don't have control on yourself. And so these are some of the reasons why. And opposite to it, he has another nature, which is also him, which is para prakriti, which is the essential, real, true nature, which is uh, which never changes, which is the nature of consciousness, and as a result, it is the nature of happiness, etc. That is one thing. Then he said that this world that has got the nature of apara prakriti, what is it? Bhumi, apo, nalo, vayuhu, kammano, buddhirevacha, ahankaram iti yam me bhinna prakriti rashtatha. So, all the Panchamahabhutas and Manas, Buddhi, Ahankara. So that means that anything that I see in the external world is of lower nature, but it's still God. Anything that I see in my body is also lower nature. So that means that our physical sharira is of lower nature. Why? Because it is made up of Panchamahabhutas. Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara. So that means that all other karmendriyas are also part of this lower nature. All jnanendriyas are also part of this lower nature. All our vasanas and punya, papa, they all are of lower nature. So, from a Vedanta perspective, we have three bodies. The Sthula Sharira, the gross body, Sukshma Sharira, or subtle body, and Karma Sharira, which is causal body. All these three are also of lower nature. Now, apareyam iti swamanyo prakriti viddhi me param jiva bhuta mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. Now, other than this, he has got the higher nature, which is jiva bhutam. It is a life-giving principle. Now, when people sometimes say like a life-giving principle, so that means that when there is a breathing in there in the human body, person is alive. When the breathing is stopped, person is dead. So, pranas or this air is Bhagwan. It is not, I mean, that is true as a para prakriti, but not as jiva bhutam. Jiva bhutam is referring to pure consciousness in here. Now, then what he said is that in the next shloka, he said, Etad yonini bhutani sarvani iti padharaya aham krishnasya jagatha prabhava pralaya tatha. This is the shloka that we were looking at. Specifically, so here in this shloka, what he said, all these beings, Etad yonini, okay, bhutani, sarvani, all of these understand that Aham is referring to God is speaking in first person. When God is speaking in his first person, don't think that Lord Krishna as is speaking in first person, but the Brahman or Ishvara is speaking in first person. And he is the entire Aham Krishnasya Jagataha. So he is everything in this world. Like comprehensively everything. Nothing in this world is not him, because Krishnasya is everything. Okay? Prabhava, Pralayaha, Tatha. So this Prabhava and Pralayaha is what we were looking at. Why? Prabhava means this is, I am the cause of all births. And I am cause for all dissolution is pralaya. Now, when we were talking about this in our last session, we were talking about Upadana Karana and Nimitta Karana in our previous session. What did we say about Upadana Karana? Is the material factor is called as, material cause is called as Upadana, and the conscious willing factor of the efficient cause is called as Nimitta Karana. In essence, to simplify, if you are making a breakfast today, a toast, so the bread is Upadana Karana, the material cause, because that is the material that has come for toast. And then you who are interested in making toast are efficient cause, are Nimitta Karana. And how are these related? Because if Prabhava, how are these indicated? I don't see Upadana Karana, Nimitta Karana in this shloka, only Prabhava, Pralaya. So where is the connection? Is that Prabhava means birth implies that there is some cause. And in that cause, if birth of something happened, so then that means that some material is required for the creation. That material that is used for that creation is none other than Bhagavan alone. So hence he is the Upadana Karana, or the material for the creation or projection of a new thing. What about Nimitta Karana? When there is a Pralaya, meaning a dissolution can happen only with a particular intent. Only when someone intends to destroy or dissolve something, that is when it is dissolved. Until then, it is as is. So, um, even in one of Newton's laws also, it says that an object remains in its state until some external force acts upon it. So this particular external force that is acting upon it to make a change is based on consciousness. And that consciousness, that with the karana, that efficient cause is also Bhagavan. Now, then that is Nimitta Karana. Now, if Bhagavan alone is both Upadana and Nimitta Karana, it is called as Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karana. So this Abhinna, so Nimitta is we understood, Upadana also you understood, Karana also you understood. So this Abhinna means non-different, meaning in English, in pure simple English, it can be said as he is the same or non-different, or in the sense that same cause, same cause for, no, he is a, what do I say? He is both material and efficient cause without any difference. Now, when we make that statement, then if any cause, sorry, any effect is cause itself in a different form. Any effect is cause in its different form. So, for example, you have a batter and you're making dosa. So, batter is the cause, dosa is the effect. Now, if you made the dosa, dosa is nothing but batter in a different form. Now, from this dosa, which is made up of batter, if you remove batter from the dosa, what remains? Nothing will remain. So, when the cause is removed from the effect, there is no effect, nothing remains. So, there, that is the Upadana Karana. Okay? So, now, but in case of when I remove case of this batter, so if I say dosa is nothing but batter in a different form, you can argue that, in addition to the batter, there are several factors. The stove top is there, whatever that pan is, okay? And then there is a fire is there. Maybe some oil is also involved. So many other things are also involved. All of them come under the category of Upadana Karana, material cause. All of them together are material cause. But what doesn't come into material cause is the maker, the dosa maker. Now, when I say, so in the effect dosa, it is both batter has got a role, dosa batter got a role, as well as batter meaning all the material cause, as well as the one who made the dosa also got a role, because his willingness, and because everything else is inert, but his willingness, that is caused this dosa to be made. So then in that particular case, you can say that even if you remove all the material from the dosa, that right, then it is nothing but batter. However, other than the batter, other than the dosa, there is a different being who made this. But in case of universe, the one who brought in this entire universe as is already part of the universe. The efficient cause is also within the universe itself. So that means God is in everything, not just as giving a material or support, but also He Himself is in everything. So here, there's there's this joke, I mean, like somewhat relevant, but not completely relevant, is in agile development process. There's a term called, what is it? Chicken and pig. Is that correct? Am I saying it right?
Correct. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Chicken is involved or pig is not involved, something like that. Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
So chicken is involved and pig is committed, right? So what does that mean? Is that in the breakfast you have egg and whatever those pork rolls or whatever, not rolls, I think they're, anyway, I don't recall what the term is, but basically like pork is also served and an omelette is also served as part of breakfast. So chicken is involved in the sense that it gave an egg, whereas pork is committed because it gave itself for your breakfast. So that's why they use this chicken and pork, pig, right? Those terms. So here, Bhagwan is both involved as well as committed. Okay, it's a bad joke, but so now in this way, right? There is God alone is there in everything. That is the message that Bhagavan is pushing in this particular shloka. So I know there was a little bit of a confusion, not confusion, but because we introduced all these topics at a time in the last session, uh, it was a little bit difficult to understand. So I want to check with you if you have any questions on that before we move to the next shloka.
Venkat, I apologize. Joined late. I only listened half and I missed last class. But from what I heard, See, Bhagavan, so I think we are in Sloka 6, right? Where Bhagavan says, everything dissolves into him, everything evolves from him too, right?
Yes.
So this dissolution and evolution cycle. So when everything dissolves into Bhagavan
Mhm.
or Pralaya or Layam, right?
Mm.
See, we are saying we are jivas.
Mhm.
We are no different from Bhagavan. We need to realize that to cease to exist. So
Mhm.
we work towards that.
Mhm.
But what happens in this Pralaya, right? So what happens to all these jivas? They're all, everything dissolves into the Bhagavan. So they are all one with Bhagavan, and then the life cycle starts again. How does?
So, so basically, what happens is that the actually, like in even though we use the term creation very loosely, in the in many of these places, Bhagwan actually uses the term Srijami. Srijami means I project. So what it is that it is simply, it is not, it is birth and death. It is not a creation and dissolution. Rather, they are manifest and unmanifest. Okay. So unmanifest, when something is dissolved, all it means that it is unmanifest. It is beyond, it is not perceptible to any comprehension in any logical manner, and those are waiting to exhaust their vasanas at right time. So, in other words, we also use in our contemporary English, at least in US, we have something called, we put something on back burner. What does that mean? We put something in back burner means.
It's been
What,
delayed, or we will come
yeah,
back to that later.
delayed.
We'll come back to it later, right? So we'll come back to it later means what happened is that from a pure the what call, like we talk quite a bit of vachartha and lakshartha, right? What is the vachartha of back burner is when someone is making multiple dishes and one of these dishes or like couple of these dishes are needed main attention, we put them in the front burners, and the other ones which I don't need to touch right now, we put it in back burner. And then we move back and forth. And in terms of our day-to-day also, so certain issues that we are managing right now, those are on the forefront, and other ones are in the back of our head or something like that. So for any jiva to exhaust their karma, phala, right situation needs to be there. So when right situation is there, those jivas for which there is a right situation is that they have come to forefront. They are manifest to continue to exhaust their vasanas, and in the process of exhausting the vasanas, sometimes they are also picking up new vasanas, new karmas, new karma phala. All of them are being picked up. And once they go into unmanifest, they are waiting for uh, appropriate conditions again for them to exhaust the accumulated vasanas. Okay. So when they are dissolved, they are waiting in waiting state, in unmanifest state. Does that help, Naga?
Right. So the jivas still there.
Yeah.
In unmanifest form, and then when the creation happens again, or the
Yeah.
cycle begins again, and then they'll manifest again, and then they
Yes.
still have to exhaust. It doesn't mean moksha.
No.
I understood. Thank you.
Okay. So moksha is only happens with, I mean, like so we have a concept of pralaya. So we have 4 levels of Pralayas. Nitya Pralaya, Naimittika Pralaya, Prakrutika Pralaya, and Atyantika Pralaya. Are you familiar with those terms?
No. Nitya Pralaya I used to hear, but
okay.
not really.
Pralaya means dissolution.
Yes.
Now, Nitya Pralaya means a dissolution that is happening on a regular basis. So whenever a jiva goes to sleep, what happened to his existence? He is unaware of his existence. So there is a pralaya. And when he wakes up, so that means that what happened is that when Ravi goes to sleep, he wakes up, next morning when he wakes up as Ravi only. He is not going to wake up as a Hari or Pavan. Right? So what happened? All the vasanas of Ravi are waiting to fructify as soon as he gets up. Right? So the jivatva of Ravi is temporarily resting or unmanifest for the time being.
Yeah.
And actually, in reality, the statement that I made is incorrect. Why is it incorrect? Is that even the deep sleep that Ravi is experiencing is exhaustion of punya. Anyone's deep sleep is also punya, and when you're all the deep sleep that you have, meaning deep sleep as in sushupti avastha, where you're not dreaming, that state where your mind is totally shut down is punya itself. Okay, so that is exhaustion of punya. Okay, but for this simple practical example purposes, yeah, so his jivatva is not there. So because his jivatva is not there, he is not there. And next morning he wakes up and all his previous vasanas that were there, they all come back as if they have never left. Ravi, as soon as he wakes up, will never have a doubt that whether he's Ravi or not. Unless it is some movie made about Ravi with amnesia and things like that. Right? So this is Nitya Pralaya. Now, Naimittika Pralaya is what we said as that whenever, now this entire creation is, Naimittika Pralaya is occasional. So this entire creation from our theory is made by the 14 lokas, etc. This is made by Brahmaji. Brahmaji, we not have Brahman, but Brahmaji who has 4 heads and who creates this world. So when he creates these worlds, and there's a huge calculation, okay, so which is like a 4.
Kalpa.
Yeah, 4.8 million years is a kalpa, and there are 14 1,000 kalpas make 1 hour or something like that of Brahmaji, and such like that he has 14 such hours during waking time and 14 such hours during his sleep time. When Brahmaji goes to sleep, that means that at the end of 14,000 kalpas, that is called as Naimittika Pralaya. At that time, what happens is all the worlds, so we say Earth, there are 7 above and 7 below, right? Including Earth, that 14 bhuvanas are there. So all the way up to 10. Okay, so that is Bhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha. All of them are dissolved when Brahmaji goes to sleep. The higher lokas above Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha, that is Mahajana, Tapa, Satya, those 4 are still alive, as in like they are not dissolved. So this nightly pralaya of Brahmaji is what we call as Naimittika Pralaya. Okay, Naimittika Pralaya is Brahmaji's nightly pralaya. Then Brahmaji has got a lifetime. He has 100 such years. So each day is Naimittika Pralaya. And when one Brahmaji finishes his term, then all the way to all the way to Brahmaloka or the Satyaloka are also dissolved. Then this is called as Prakrutika Pralaya. Now, in all of these dissolutions, those jivas are still there. Okay, it is just that, like, they are, whenever the earth is recreated, all the jivas come back to exhaust their vasanas. They are manifested. So his job is to manifest whatever is unmanifest. So from a Vedanta perspective, this Brahma himself is called as Hiranyagarbha. Okay. Now, this is also, this cycle of Prakrutika Pralaya also is ongoing. And at any given time, there is not one Brahmaji, but we say Ananta Koti Brahmanda. So that means, basically, Ananta means infinite number of crores, means unlimited or uncountable or immeasurable number of Brahmajis are there at a time, at any given time. And each of them are ruling a domain of their own 14 worlds. Okay. So now Atyantika Pralaya is much higher than Prakrutika Pralaya. Can you guess what that is? Is it like when all Brahmajis finally go to bed, as in, like, finally retire? No.
Maybe Jiva dissolves. Mukti.
So when Jiva gets dissolution, okay, so when Jiva loses its Jivatva, then that is called as Atyantika Pralaya, after which Jiva never ever comes back into any form. Okay, he becomes one with Bhagavan. That is Atyantika Pralaya. So these are the 4 types of Pralayas that are there in our text. So now,
so Atyantika Pralaya is Mukti, right? For individual.
Mukti for individual, yes.
Got it. Thank you.
So let's go to our next shloka. Okay. This is shloka number 7. Now what we'll do is, I'll break down the words first, and then one of you will chant after me. Okay. Mattaha
Mattaha
Parataram.
Parataram.
So there is this word Nanyat Kinchidasti. So that has got 4 words. Yeah. Na. Na. Anyat.
Anyat.
Kinchit.
Kinchit.
Asti.
Asti.
So that becomes Nanyat Kinchidasti.
Nanyat Kinchidasti.
Dhananjaya.
Dhananjaya.
Mayi.
Mayi.
Sarvam.
Sarvam.
Idam.
Idam.
Protam.
Protam.
Sutre.
Sutre.
Maniganaha.
Maniganaha.
Iva.
Iva.
Yes, so these are. So one of the interesting things is that I told multiple times, but just a reminder is these many of these shlokas are Anushtup Chandas. So that means that we, no matter what, when we are chanting and we break it in middle, which is after 8 syllables. Okay? But this is a typical new, like what you call like a new age style, whereas in the past, we were supposed to read the entire thing in one breath, entire line in one breath. But anyway, because there is 8 letters, right? Mattaha Parataram Nanyat. Okay, so that is where we stop, even though Nanyat Kinchidasti is one samasta pada. Okay, so ready? Matta Parataram Nanyat.
Matta Parataram Nanyat.
Kinchidasti dhananjaya
किञ्चिदस्ति धनञ्जय
Mayi sarvamidam protam
मयि सर्वमिदं प्रोतं
Sutre manigana iva.
सूत्रे मणिगणा इव.
So, Mattaha. Again, see here in all of this, one is talking in first, first tense, no, first person. Okay. So, Mattaha. Mattaha means me. Okay. Mattaha parataram na asti. Parataram means higher than me. Na asti. There is nothing higher than me. That is what Mattaha parataram nasti. Not only that, Mattaha anyat kinchit asti. Mattaha anyat kinchit asti. So, oh, is there another Mattaha? No. He used one Mattaha, but it is implied for second portion. So, okay, Mattaha. There is nothing other than me. Anyat kinchit asti. There is nothing other than me. Why is that there is nothing higher than the Lord? Because Lord is both para and apara prakriti. And so because of that, there is nothing higher than the Lord. Why is there nothing else other than God? Because Lord is both Nimitta Karana and Upadana Karana. Because he himself is the material cause of the entire universe and he himself is efficient cause of the universe, there is nothing other than the Lord. There's nothing other than the Lord. There's nothing higher than the Lord, or there's nothing lower than the Lord also, because there's nothing other than Lord, right? So now, one of the here this shloka is what it is saying is that it actually in our philosophy, right? In our darshanas, we have something like the Sankhya Darshana, etc. And different schools of thoughts are there. And sometimes they say, like, they come up with the different causes for creation. Okay, so that is Paramanu was there. Paramanu created the universe. And in some philosophies, I'm talking within Hindu philosophies, huh? Okay. So Sankhya usually talks about, and some philosophies talk about there's Prakriti and Purusha, both of them are equally important, and somehow like Prakriti is different from Purusha, like that. So sometimes what happens is that the Dvaitins are Vishishtadvaitins. Dvaitins are ones who believe that within our culture, within Hinduism, like Madhvacharya followers, etc., they believe that we are different from God and our partner sisters are Bhagwan. And then Ramanujacharya's followers, who are Vishishtadvaita people, they believe that we are part of the God, but we still have our own independent existence. Whereas Advaita people believe that no, God and jivas are one and the same. There is no difference. So here, this particular piece that Mattha Parataram Nasti, Mattha Anyat Kinchid Asti. Okay, so there's nothing other than me. So that's what this is one of the statements that gives power to Advaita Vedanta. Okay, so Mattha Anyat Kinchid Asti. There's nothing other than me. Then this in
One question here.
Go ahead.
Simple question, Venkat. So this is from the Advaita point of view. You're saying like both, there is nothing other than me, right? When like when Dvaitans, how did they interpret this one? They'll say like there is always different, right? How do they like? I mean, this particular sentence. How will they teach their disciples? Like,
I did not go to those schools.
no, but like someone has to, because they will also follow, right? Like if I go to like other
True.
right, what they will like, how do they say like this one, like, because it's clearly saying here there's nothing other than me.
Yeah. So I'll take it as a homework and I'll get back to you
Yeah,
after
thank you.
checking. Okay. So right
Sorry
now,
for that, like in
yeah.
between disturbing.
No. So yeah. So no, that's a good question. I should have done my checking, but I did not. So I'll come back to you next week on that. Okay. So mattaha parataram nasti kinchidasti dhananjaya. Dhananjaya means he's talking to Arjuna. Dhananjaya. Okay. My sarvamidam rotam sutre manigana iva. So here in this next line, sutre manigana iva is a analogy he is giving. This is actually like a very famous, I mean, like people who, so for example, like people who quote Bhagavad Gita, right? Like quotable quotes will be there. What is that? Karmanyeva adhikaraste, okay? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata. Right? So like that, I mean, there are certain slokas, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi. So like these slokas are very popular slokas. So in that way, this sloka is also popular. But this particular example that is given, Sutre Manigana Iva, Mai Sarvam Idam Protam, Sutre Manigana Iva. So what is this Mai Sarvam Idam Protam, Sutre Manigana Iva? So Mai is in me, Sarvam means everything, Idam means all of this, all of this. Protam means strong. Okay, Protam means strong. Strong like, so Iva means like. Sutre on a thread. Manigana. Manigana means collections. Gana means a collection, like a group. So, and then Mani means gems. So now what is it trying to say is, in a simple language, if you think about a gem, a necklace made out of gems alone, what happened? Is it gems, collection of gems? So collection of gems means it is not like, like a pearl necklace with all white pearls of same size. No. Okay. If it is colorful gems and it is a collection with some of them are big, some of them are small, some of them red, green, yellow, orange, whatever colors they have. Now, so any perfect necklace, would they just put randomly all those beads together, all those gems together? Means there are some patterns are there, exquisite patterns are made, right? So when these exquisite patterns of gems are made and they're all strung and they're all tied together by a string. Now, the greatness, what is the difference between a regular person who can put a needle and a thread through those gems and pull them and tie, versus these people, like the professionals? One is that they can create very intricate, beautiful patterns. And second thing is that they tie it in such a way that the string is not visible at all. Okay? So now imagine a necklace, a gem necklace, which has got a lot of gems with intricate patterns of different sizes, different colors. It is all tied with this beautiful thread. Okay? Whether it is a what you call like a woolen thread or like a cotton thread or plastic thread, it doesn't matter, but they are tied with the thread. Now, thread is not visible. All the gems are visible, right? So when thread is not visible and gems are visible, but understand that thread is the one that is holding everything. If thread is cut off, there is no more necklace. Rather, it is bunch of gems thrown all over. Right? So, what he's saying is that I am that sutra, I am that thread in that necklace. As what? As Prakriti. So, Prakriti is the one that is holding all of them, and it is giving the appearance of a necklace. And now what about, okay, so if Bhagavan is that thread, what about these beads? Beads are Apara Prakriti, and they are also the they are also the same Bhagavan alone, because there's nothing other than Bhagavan. So now Bhagavan as Jiva Bhutam, because the Jiva Bhutam was the word came in fourth shloka, right? No, fifth shloka. Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho Yayedam Dharyate Jagat. So he, as a Jiva Bhutam, he is tying all the beads and holding them together, and then he himself is appearing as all beads. So that is the nature of Bhagavan. So now why is he saying this? Okay, so I'll just show you. Where's my screen? Okay, so I'll just share my screen. We'll watch something quickly for a brief second. Okay. You're able to see my screen? Can someone say yes or no?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Not getting any sound though. It's coming now, but maybe.
So that video, right? It is some magic show. Now, do you believe that in that video, if that person is able to create that woman there on the spot?
No.
No. Okay. So what happened there is that there is a seen factor and unseen factor in this particular magic show. We all clearly know that he is not God. We all clearly know that he did not create that woman on the fly. I mean, basically, if you are a 5-year-old child or 6-year-old, what is your thought? He actually, there was no woman there. He made some magic, and then the woman appeared. Right? So we also have the same idea, but like our intellect says, no, he doesn't have the capacity to create a woman there. So I am seeing something, but I am missing something, whatever he did. There's a trick behind it. Okay, I don't know what the trick is, but there's a trick. That is how you would think. Yes? Because I don't know, maybe you know. And then if you know, so what happened is that here there is a seen factor and unseen factor. Our attention is on seen. But what God is asking us to do is change our perception and change our focus to what is unseen and find that unseen factor that is connecting everything. Now, if you go onto YouTube, what happens? You can actually go, maybe for this trick or maybe not for this trick, but this particular trick. But you say like magic tricks explained or something like that, then you will see a lot of videos on how this magic is performed, that magic is performed, etc. After you knowing that, once you know that, then when you're watching, you're like, okay, I know what he's doing. It is a different type of feeling, right? So here, what God is saying is that why he's giving this example is simple, is that I am, in this particular case, all of us have our vision set on what is the name and form in this universe, and we are looking at them. But Bhagwan, as a higher Prakriti, as a Jiva Bhuta, he is the one who is holding on to everything. I mean, not holding on. He is holding everything together, not holding on to everything. That's the incorrect usage of English. So he is basically like holding everything together so that there is, you have an appearance of this whole world. So whether it is small things or big things, alive, sentient or insentient, you or me, we are all held by the same para prakriti. I am in Orlando. You guys are in New Hampshire. Okay? You are different from me, from as para prakriti. But both of us are held together by same para prakriti, which is consciousness. Now, even though you and I are different as apara prakriti, we both are the representation or we are the manifestation of that God alone. Both as apara prakriti and para prakriti. So now, see, when we say like, when Bhagavan said Jnana Vijnana Yoga, right? This is not just knowledge, but once you understand this in terms like this, and as soon as it is much more easier to apply, and you start looking at your spouse, your family members, your colleagues, people you have disagreements with, people with whom you transact, where there is a win-loss, win-loss. Okay? Either I win or they win. Okay? Yeah. So, but start understanding that both as a para prakriti as well as para prakriti perspective, all of us are one and the same. So then, when we start looking at the world like that, our hatreds, our dislikes, etc., they start melting away. Our likes also, like our strong likes also start melting away. Why likes are going to melt away? Because a strong like is in compared to that, I prefer this. That is a strong like. Okay? So I think this is the best. This is the best means the others are not as good as this. But once you understand that as apara prakriti and para prakriti, everything is one and the same, I like this most. That kind of a strong feeling is also shaken up a bit, and those feelings also will start melting away. Then we are going to see, we are going to experience samatvam. Samatvam means equanimity in all situations, among all people, with respect to everything. So this is the important aspect of the experiential wisdom of the knowledge that Bhagavan is giving. So once we have samatvam, then there is no fear. Abhayam will be there. When we have samatvam, shanti will be there, peace will be there. Okay. And when you have peace, you will be liberated. So here, right in this shloka alone, right, in this last set of 2 to 3 shlokas, where starting from shloka number 5, where he said that, is it 5? No, actually 4, starting from 4, where he said, Bhumirapo nalo vayu kam buddhi, kammano buddhi revata, from that to 6, where he said, aprayam itistam anya prakriti vidhyame param, that where that he talked about higher prakriti. And in the next shloka, number 6, he said, etad yonini bhutani sarvani upadharaya. So I am everything. I am the material cause. I am the efficient cause. To mattaparam nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. In this set, what we learned is, in this set of 4 shlokas, Bhagavan is showing his oneness with us. So Jiva Brahma Aikyata is shown in this set of 4 shlokas. I mean, like in the collection of in this group of 4 shlokas together. And then he's also showing that we are same as everybody else in this world, everything else in this world, because of which we can gain samatvam, equanimity, and have equanimity to everything in our life. So this, so I mean, in the next shloka, what happens is that this samatvam aspect, right? I mean, that God is everything, that those concepts are clarified, and a lot more detail about this is given in next set of 3 shlokas that we'll see in the next session. Yes. Hopefully, I'll also remember to do a little bit research on how this particular shloka number 7 is taught in, I mean, like Madhvacharya's tradition and Ramanujacharya's tradition. And I'll get back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Venkat.
So, any questions based on what you heard so far today? So then we'll close. पूर्णमतः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
Thank you.
Thanks.
Venkat, I won't be joining for next 3 classes. I'm going to